to all those who I have not seen since last week. You don't have to come up front, but I do need 2 volunteers that know how to handle cards. We have one, the fabulous Elizabeth. Go ahead, come on up. All right. You can stay by the tables, actually.
It's gonna just throw cards at you.
That's right. I hope you are cut resistant.
So do I.
A friend of mine, if any of you know him, Sean Brewster, had actually asked me. He was in a band called Sean and Shelby. Fantastic folks. He was asking me how many different ways there are to shuffle a deck of cards. Now, he didn't mean how many different ways to physically shuffle a deck of cards. He meant how many permutations can there be in the order of 52 cards once they are shuffled. And I said, I don't know. I imagine it's a lot. So we looked it up, and actually, it is a lot. It is 8 times 10 to the 63rd power, which means 8 with 63 zeros behind it. All right, you take this half of the deck and shuffle those up, and you take this half and shuffle those up. That is a very large number. And then whenever you're done shuffling, cut your halves into half, so quarters. Just make 2 piles of your choosing. Yeah, whenever you're done, shuffle them as much as you like. Just to put that number in perspective, there are more ways to shuffle a deck of cards than there are stars in the known and hypothesized universe. There are more, you just set them down in 2 piles. All right, actually, go ahead and turn those 2 piles face up. All right, there are more ways to shuffle a deck of cards than there are atoms that constitute the Earth. That's a lot. And you have 2 piles there?
Yes.
Face down?
Face up?
Yours face down.
Mine face down.
Yes.
Jokers included?
Pardon?
Jokers included?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right. I didn't even know if there was took them out or not. All right. You guys are going to make all the decisions in this. You choose whichever packet that you would like. All right. And you choose whichever of your packets that you would like. All right. And hand those to her. And if you would shuffle, you take your face-up cards and shuffle them into the face-down cards. Oh, no, face up. I'm sorry. Keep yours face up.
Keep my face up.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
And shuffle them into his face-down cards. If you would, come and grab the other remaining face-up stack there and shuffle them face up into your face-down stack. All right? No, as much as you want. It really doesn't make a difference at this point. I mean, once they're shuffled in, they're shuffled in. You have face-up cards and face-down cards in your half. You have face-up cards and face-down cards in your half. If you would hand your half to him, and keep them both and shuffle them both. Well, sure, shuffle them into each other.
Okay? Just like that. Okay.
Just like that. All right. The result is a mix of face-up and face-down cards, and you could have taken any of your piles and turned them, or left them face down, and whichever one's face up. So we end up with a big mess. Mm-hmm. They say that if you give everyone a deck of cards, everyone in the world, and you have them each shuffle them once a second, it would take like 18,000 years before there was ever the same order of cards if everyone in the world shuffled one every second. But anyway, so we have a deck of cards here with, as you see, a whole bunch of face-up and face-down cards. You take those. The thing about magicians, aside from the mathematics of magic, is the psychology of magic and perhaps the pondering of chance and fate or destiny or those types of things. We ponder these things as we incorporate into magic. And I made an interesting note here on my tablet that after your choices of face-up and face-down cards and mixing them all together, I thought that there will be 23 face-up cards in that stack. if you would deal them out onto the table and separate them face up and face down and count them out loud as you deal the face up cards.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Now, of that face-up stack, I hypothesized that 13 of those cards will be black cards.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Which obviously means that there will be 10 left that are red, but all of the 10 remaining cards will be diamonds.
All of them?
All of the 10 remaining cards.
Ooh.
Oh, we have an ooh. What is the ooh? Well, you see.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Gilligan Magic on Facebook. Who has a phone? The man in the back. If you'd kindly, well, all of you can actually, if you would like to go into Facebook, pull up my page, Gilligan Magic, on the Facebook. Let me know whoever gets it.
It's a race against time.
It's a race. Who has the best Wi-Fi here at the Winchester?
Is it 4 of hearts?
What am I looking for?
Go to the first post that you see below the videos and below the
Except for the 4 of hearts.
show those around you. And if you will note the time that I had posted that.
It said 2 hours ago.
The 4 of hearts.
Yeah, 2 hours, yeah.
You guys made fantastic choices, and be it choice or destiny or influence, we will never know. We will never know. You can leave those there, I'll get them in a second. I have another deck of cards here.
Okay.
This is Skipper, my assistant. All right. So I would like somebody to simply, wherever you are sitting, think of any card in the deck that you would like. Any random card. Don't say it out loud. Who wants to raise your hand? Who wants to think of a card? Who wants to do it?
Mark, do it.
We have a hand in the back there. All right. All right. Yell out your name so everybody can hear it.
Marcus.
Marcus. Marcus, think of a card. It can be obvious, like the Ace of Spades. Guys always say that. Women always say the Queen of Hearts or the Two of Hearts for some reason. Or it could be some random card. No jokers on this deck of cards. All right, you got a card?
I did.
Okay, I'm going to throw Skipper out into the audience. May I throw it to you guys?
Sure.
Okay. Grab Skipper.
Oh,
Don't let him hit the ground. No.
no. Sorry.
He's not real. Okay. Now, you're in control of all the choices, right? These guys are going to offer suggestions, and you can or you don't have to do what they suggest. All right?
Well, I just thought I picked a card.
Well, yes. Well, you have a card in your mind. You have your card in mind. You can either tell him to change the value of the card, the number, or if it was a letter, if it was a king or queen or ace or whatever, or to change the suit of the card. Whichever one you guys decide, you tell him to change the number or to change the suit.
Does he have to change?
He doesn't have to, but whichever one you tell him.
Alright, you can just do it.
Okay, so you can or you don't have to. It's up to you. All right?
We're just making suggestions.
That's right. Or do you want to make it influential?
Binding?
No, actually, you do what they tell you to do.
Which one was it?
Suit.
Change the suit. Yeah. All right. Toss Skipper to somebody else. All right. So you can tell him to either leave it where it is, to change it back to his original card, or to change the value of the card. It's up to you.
Let's change the value.
Okay, done.
Done. All right, yeah, sure, we'll set it up. And then at this point, we'll just either have you tell him to either go back to either of the previous cards or to keep the card that he has. All right, so now you have your card. Apparently you changed it, the value, the suit of it, from its original version, and then you changed the value of the card. And now you have kept the card. For the first time for all of us, what is the card that you are now thinking of?
You want me to say it out loud?
Say it out loud.
Six of, now, after the change.
Now, after the changes.
Six of diamonds.
The six of diamonds. See, that's really interesting that you came up with that card after their instructions. Because here in this deck of cards, what I didn't tell you is that there was one face-down card here in the deck that I had turned face down before I came on stage. And it happens to be the six of diamonds. Thank you very much. You can throw Skipper back up here, or as far as you can make it. Again, I am a psychological magician. Thank you very much. And a lot of people are intrigued by the psychology of magic, as I am. And so I'm actually going to explain a little bit of how this magic works. Now, if you've seen me do this before, I'm going to start off with this question. So if you know the answer to this question, don't ruin it for the people who have not seen me before. You know what I mean when I'll say the question. For the rest of you, I'll give you an example of what's about to happen with these ropes. While I do that, if you guys don't mind examining these ropes. Just pull on, see if they stretch. See if they come apart, see if there's any glue or magnets or anything like that. All right, while they're doing that, everyone else, including you guys, if you can do two things at once. Everybody say the word hop. Say hop.
Hop.
Everybody say the word shop.
Shop.
And say the word hop.
Hop.
And say the word shop.
Shop.
And what do you do when you come to a green light?
Stop.
No, you go at a green light.
See what happened.
I see what you did there. Yes, yes, yes. Are there satisfactory ropes?
Yes, there.
Fantastic. We like it when the ladies are satisfied with the ropes. So it's, okay, I'll take them. Okay, so we have here the short rope, and we have here the medium length rope, and we have here the lengthy rope. With the hop and shop thing, we call that linguistic conditioning. What linguistic conditioning is through the words that we use, we plant a seed and we create a space in your mind where you can disengage the intellectual part, the things that you know is reality, and we guide you into this other realm where magic can happen, right? What you guys didn't know is that I have already used some linguistic conditioning to plant an idea in your mind and to make you believe something like for a second you thought you stopped at a green light, just for a split second. You guys believe that we have the short rope, the medium rope, and the long rope. But again, I have used linguistic conditioning with a little visual reinforcement of that idea because I don't have a short rope, a medium rope, and a long rope. I actually have 3 ropes that are all the same size. That is the medium length rope, that is the other medium length rope, and that is the third medium length rope. Now I know a lot of you guys are like, wait a minute, oh Gilligan, we saw the 3 ropes of different sizes, see? And again, I just said the word 3 to further supplant an idea in your head. Because if I take a rope and I put it around my neck, then how many do I have left in my hands?
2.
See, you're close, because I just have 1. See, I planted the idea in your head that there was 3, when in reality I only had a medium length rope and a long rope. I know it can be confusing, right? See, all I have to do is say the word 2, and it goes back to a second ago you thought that I had 2 ropes in my hand. I know, like I said, it can be confusing because the idea that I planted in your head is so strong that you would swear that there was 4 ends and 2 middles here. But obviously that's not the case because obviously one rope only has 2 ends and 1 middle. So I'm going to do the 1 rope trick for you, but again, explaining kind of what's going on in your brain as I lead you through this. When I say the word rope, and I've said rope many times already, is I'm reinforcing your subconscious idea of what a rope looks like, which is two ends in the middle. Maybe in your mind you think of a rope, you have little knots near the ends or something. With the visual reinforcement that I make, again I say, pay attention to the ends and pay attention to the middle. And logically that makes sense to you because that's what you figure is a rope. However, I lean forward and I point so that you believe that the ends are over here. We call it release of tension, relaxation. On the offbeat, oh, and the middle. The middle is kind of a thing. But really, what you don't realize is that the whole time that the ends are really over here. Because I emphasize the fact that they were over there, you believe that you could see an ends over there, but they're not. The ends are over here. Because obviously if the ends are here in the middle, then the middle has to be on the ends. I know it can be really confusing, right? We do a thing called psychological priming, right? We do a motion over and over to get you used to that motion. For example, if I say you can watch right before your very eyes, the ends and the middle switch places. Watch. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, see, that was just a joke, but that served a purpose. I'm priming you so that when you see this happen, you would swear that you actually saw the ends come down there in the middle, come up to the top. See, that's the, oh, thank you very much. Of course, we know that that's impossible, but not for the reasons that you think. Because again, ever from the beginning, I've used linguistic conditioning to convince you of something that may or may not be true. Because you think that this is a rope. Because I've said the word rope, one rope, 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 short rope, medium rope, one rope, two ropes. This isn't a rope. It wasn't when I handed it out. See, this is just a loop. The ends aren't actually attached to the rope. This is just one big middle. Which is why I can manipulate the ends. Because in your mind, you want to see a rope because this is a rope trick. So if I take the ends and I throw them on the loop, to you, you see a rope having two ends and a middle. But they're not really attached to the middle, to the loop. They just look like it. It's all just psychological. Because, I mean, I can pull them off of this side of the loop, and I can put them on over here. Doesn't matter what you do with the ends, because again, they're not really attached. They only look like they're attached. Once I can convince you that the ends are removable, then again, I set up that idea in your mind, then you can believe that the middle is actually removable. I mean, I can do whatever I want at this point, because again, through the linguistic conditioning, I convince you that the middle is attached, that the ends are attached, and that I only have one rope. But of course we know that this whole time that was just an illusion, because of course I have two ropes here. And of course, if we take the third rope from around our neck, then we can clearly see that the reality is that I have three ropes that are all the same length. Unless, of course, that was all an illusion, and the reality is that I only have a short rope, a medium rope, and a long rope. Thank you very much. My name is Gilligan. And hopefully while you're on my Facebook page, you gave me a little thumbs up. On to more music and a fantastic year at Winchester. Thank you very much.